Every week, we need to ask you just how's the knee holding up, and how beneficial was the open day for you?
Bye week was real good. After playing so many plays against South Carolina, it was real big to have that time off and to kind of do some more rehab and get a little rest and get a little back to normal.
And 2 games in, I know you played 80-something snaps in South Carolina, if I remember right. What you've been able to do, has it met your expectations? Has it exceeded it? What did you think you'd be able to? Did you think you'd be able to play this many reps?
Yeah, it was about 100 snaps at South Carolina, and I think I've definitely exceeded what even I thought I could do, which is big. I feel like I'm back to 100%, and I'm back to what I was beforehand.
How satisfying has this been for you these last couple of games after what you've been through? Does it make you kind of savor the experience all that much more, or what's it been like?
Yeah, it's been great. I've only got 3 planned for the 4th game here at Tennessee. And it's just one of those things where, every day I think about it, how I don't have much of this left. And at one point I had none of it left. And so it changes my approach every day to just really be like, every day's a blessing, and every day's a gift right now for me, so I'm accepted that way.
Kyler was saying that you guys tried to avoid it. The line tried to avoid like social media, Twitter, and stuff like that when things weren't going so well. Is that something you got? Years later, kind of told the younger guys to do? Hey, just stay off of that stuff. Don't look at it. Just keep.
Yeah, we got people send messages all the time, and Twitter's kind of volatile sometimes. When things aren't going great, and when things are going great, it's always a good environment. So it's kind of fickle. But we just we saw some of the stuff people were saying. We're just like whatever, and we just kind of stayed off it and didn't really pay attention to that stuff. Just kind of shut down some stuff and just said it didn't really affect us.
How important is tempo to this offense, and why was it so much better at South Carolina?
Tempo is how our offense lives. It's how we breathe. It's everything we do should be based off of tempo and wearing guys down. And that's just something we really had to focus on, and that's something that we really executed really well at South Carolina.
How different are you just yourself from when you first kind of got back against Ole Miss to now?
I've always trusted it. And the first couple plays at Ole Miss, I was kind of thrown in there, and I had to get a feel for it again. It was 5-6 weeks since I last played, and so just that break-in period that anybody has. And for me, it was like starting all over again because my first game, I only got 3/4 of it. So I feel really good. I feel confident. I feel like my ability's back.
Jake, when you look at the numbers you guys put up the last 2 games, just obviously Josh is different at quarterback, but it probably doesn't explain everything. What's been different on the offensive front?
With Dobbs at quarterback, it opens our offense up. We can do a lot of things off of what he has great ability back there, whether it's throwing or running. He can really change offenses. He's a really dynamic player. Whether it's hand the ball, off, throwing the ball, or running himself. He really gives you that third option where if you need it, he can get it for you. And that's just really it's opened up everything for Coach Jake, and he's done a great job putting us in the right situations, the right blocks, the right routes. Everything that he's done on offense right now is just really meshing well with the players he's got in there.
When you look at that South Carolina game and you see 302 yards rushing or whatever, is that
344?
Sorry, you're good. Is that, and you see that on tape? Is that what you guys thought this offense could look like? Is that?
Yeah, definitely. 344. That's a lot of rushing yards for anybody, whether you line up in the eye or you line up in the spread. And as soon as we got in the locker room, the first thing we read off was the rushing yards. So that kind of started the fuel to the party that we had in there. I'm sure everybody saw the pictures of, but we really we were happy by it. And our first thing we said was, hey, let's get that the next week and the next week and the next week.
And, some people might say, well, South Carolina's horrible, but you put up the most yards Alabama's given up, prior to last weekend all year long, and it seemed like it started that game. Did you take some confidence out of just moving the ball in those last 3 quarters against Alabama and carry over to South Carolina?
Yeah, I really think that taking what we learned from Alabama to South Carolina is really kind of, you saw the fruit of that labor. Alabama was not the result we wanted, but we learned a lot of great things about our offense and what we could do. And you saw that kind of explode during South Carolina.
You were better about just the way you guys are blocking right now. When you guys just look at yourselves, the line itself on tape, what are you seeing that's different and better than it was a couple weeks ago?
Obviously, the game plan changes with each quarterback that we have in there. And like I said, with Dobbs, it changes. The D-line will say this, it changes the way they rush, it changes the way defensive coordinators have to scheme because he's always a threat. And that helps us, especially in the rush. But I think that we really just, as an O-line, hit our stride. We've been working for so long trying to get to a point where you have guys that know that you're working hard and really getting it, and then you hit that point and you finally see everything that you've been working for.
You guys are in the same situation last year. You needed 2 wins in the last 3 games for a bowl bid. What did you learn from that, not that experience that didn't work out, that could help you make it work out this time?
I think we definitely learned that if you get complacent or if you overlook a team or if anything like that happens, you're destined to lose. And I'm not saying we did that last year, but I'm saying that from a team aspect, I don't think we took it seriously enough those last couple games. I think we really just kind of built ourselves up and put ourselves in good positions, but we didn't finish it. I think that's the biggest thing this year is we have to finish all of those opportunities because, like I said, I've only got 3 games left here. I'm trying to fight for that 4th. I feel like all the other seniors feel the same way, and I know all my young guys back there want to see us get to that 4th game because they want to start something new here.